Hi, everybody. Sam here. I am so excited to be here today with my new friend Shayla, and we are having a micro interview that you're not going to want to miss. I've been chatting with her a little bit before I hit record, and we are very similar. We are
Yes.
very similar, and I'm excited to connect her with you. If you are new to Safe Heart Connections, we are so glad you found us. If you've been around for a while, we're glad you came back. And I truly believe that you can create any life you want, one choice at a time. And maybe something that Shayla and I talk about today on this micro interview could be that thing that helps you get from where you're at to where you want to go, one choice at a time. So, Shayla, I would love for you to just introduce yourself and share what I like to call your superhero origin story.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me today. It's always exciting to chat with new people. So, I'm Shayla Burton. I am the founder of Building Her Dream, which is a media platform and community that supports and celebrates introverted women who are building their dream lives on their terms. We have a digital magazine, a podcast, a membership community. I'm also a visibility strategist for introverted women who are either growing a business or growing their careers. I just help them get seen in a way that aligns with their values and their energy. And let's see, my superhero story. So, I created this brand because it was something that I needed. Basically, a couple years ago, I had another business where I was trying to increase my visibility because I was getting my clients through referrals and word of mouth, but that's not really sustainable because that sometimes runs out. And so I needed to find a way where I could market my business and just let people know that I exist. However, as an introvert who also has a little bit of social anxiety, I just struggled with how to do that in a way that was comfortable for me. And so as I was trying to figure that out, like how could I get interviewed? How could I tell more people about my business? I just got the idea like, what if I create my own platform for introverted like me who are also looking for an opportunity to share their story and talk about the impact they're making. And so when I got the idea, I'm like, is this something that's needed or even wanted? And so I made a post about it in a Facebook group, and I was just blown away by all of the responses that I got from other introverted women who were like, "Oh my goodness, this is a great idea. You should absolutely do this. How can I support? How can I be featured?" And so that's when I realized, okay, I guess I actually have to do something with this. And so it was supposed to be just a website where I would interview women, introverted women, but then it turned into a digital magazine. And then I said, let me start a podcast so I can practice speaking and then also help other introverted women who also need to practice speaking. And yeah, and then it turned into a
That's so
community.
cool. That's so cool. I love how it just built and what you did in that Facebook post, because I do a lot of
Mhm,
marketing and stuff too. That's called a validation post.
mhm.
You may not have known it, or maybe at the time that wasn't the intent. You were truly just checking it out. But whenever you
Mhm.
post something like that and it hits that nerve, it's
Yeah.
going to be really clear that it's good. So, yeah, I'm so excited that you are working with introverted women, which we were talking about. I know an introverted woman too. Probably gets me.
Yeah.
It is. And this step that I do with the micro interviews and what I do on social media, it is a stretch for me. And and I try and have fun with it though, because I just want to show who I am and that I'm just a real woman that's gone through what I say I've gone through hell and back and got to the other side. And now I've created a life and a business that I love, one choice at a time. And you can too. And when I'm
Mhm.
vulnerable and I share who I am, then the right people will be connected with. And so the
Exactly.
key thing I believe is just showing up as you are, not trying to be someone else. So you probably
Exactly.
agree with that, I would guess.
Mhm.
I see you nodding.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I would love for you just to share a tip, a thought, or piece of advice for anybody watching or listening that you think might improve their life or their business.
Yeah, you actually kind of hit the nail on the head about growing a business and a life without changing who you are, that is my message for my platform because a lot of the marketing advice out there tells us that we need to do all of these things. So we need to be on social media posting every single day. We need to do live videos. We need to attend networking events. And if we don't do these things, then we must not want to be successful. And what I found is, although those tips can help you, but for a lot of us, especially those of us are introverted, those things just don't align well with our personality. And so then sometimes we feel like if I don't feel comfortable or if those marketing methods don't work for me, then I can't have a successful business, but you absolutely can. You just have to find ways that work for you. And so my suggestion would be to really look inward and see what are your strengths and then see how you can use those strengths to get you further in your business. That's what I've done. I'm not great on social media. I struggle with consistency, but what I found is hosting events and teaching, doing trainings is one of my superpowers. It's something that I enjoy and I love to do. So that's what I've leaned into, and that's my main focus to grow my business. And so you just really have to find what works for you, what brings you joy, and then do that one thing.
Yes, that's so good. Because if you're doing the one thing that you love, then you feel comfortable doing, you will do more of it. I tell my women all the
Absolutely.
time, if it's easy and you like it, you're going to do more of it.
Exactly.
You're not going to push up against that resistance. And I know that sometimes there is value though to pushing the outskirts of what's comfortable, because sometimes comfort can keep us stuck, right?
Mhm.
So there's a balance to that of being able to learn something new because it's going to benefit you. But there's also the other side of that. Why are you trying to do it? Is it because you think you have to, or somebody said that you should, or something like that? So just because these marketing gurus are telling you to do certain things, I love what you said. I have a YouTube channel and this will be on YouTube. Some people may be watching it on YouTube. And for a while, I was trying to go live every Tuesday at 2.
Mhm.
And I don't mind going live, but it feels really weird to me to just be talking to the screen, nobody
Same.
there.
Mhm.
And so I do better if I'm going to do a YouTube video. Number one, it would be better to have a conversation with somebody like you, right?
Mhm.
Or I do something pre-recorded where I'm able to record it and have it be a lesson where I'm using slides and stuff,
Yeah.
more like you, or a teaching or a meditation or an affirmation or something.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people do a lot of great things on YouTube that are live, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of channels that grow very
Mhm.
consistently over time doing just one long form piece of content a week. And so you get to
Yeah.
decide what makes sense for you. Yeah. And so if somebody's
Absolutely.
listening, you're talking about showing up in the world in the way you want to without changing who you are. You gave a good example around social media. Do you have anything else tied to that, or maybe another example where you've seen someone really blossom because they realized, oh, wait, I can be who I am and be successful?
Yeah. So I've seen other introverts do something similar, like figure out what methods work best for them. I think it's really just it takes a lot of like self analyzing to really determine what works for you. And it does take trying some different things. So like you mentioned, I'm not a big fan of like when people say stepping outside of your comfort zone. I think your comfort zone kind of expands over time. But I do believe in trying things and seeing what works best for you. Someone specifically that I'm thinking of right now struggled with networking and building relationships. She really struggled because her idea of networking was going to events, like large events, whether in person or virtual. But she struggled with the idea of having to walk up and just talk to people. And so what I informed her of is you don't have to network one way. Like you could network one on one. Now, it'll take a bit longer for you to meet more people versus going to a large event, but that's absolutely okay. I too, in the beginning stages of my business, did networking by meeting people for coffee chats, whether it's virtually or in person. But one on one, I was able to really connect better with people and show my personality versus attending large events where I would freeze up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And so I actually used to run networking groups about 10 or 12 years ago. And now I just can't. I just don't even want to go. And I think part of that was just because of some of the connections. And when you run it, it's like if you're on staff at a church, you see a whole different side of the church. Like when you have to run the groups, they're just different. But what I have found, so even virtually going to try and network online with another group of people, I still find it really challenging for me just because I don't make small talk really well. I don't want to come across as if I'm pitching them, and I certainly don't want to be pitched to. And so I
Mhm.
host these micro interviews, and I host 4 to 6 a month, maybe 8 a month. So I get to talk to 8 women like you. This
Yeah,
is my networking, and it feels so
exactly.
good. And not only am I connecting with you, like we were chatting before I hit record and getting to learn a little bit more about you on the interview itself, like that, that's so much better to me than
Yeah.
sitting on a Zoom room with 80 people, getting in a breakout room for 10 minutes and then not really getting a connection, or it
Mhm.
just doesn't feel the same. Like
Sure.
this feels like a growth opportunity for both of us and healthy exposure. So it's like a win-win. So yeah, I love that you're teaching that there's so many different ways. And I do agree with what you said. And it's very interesting to me. We don't know each other very well, but you very softly corrected me and so not maybe not corrected, but given a reframe of
Yeah.
how way I said something once before I recorded and now on the stepping out of the comfort zone. And I love that how you hear something and you're able to then reflect it back at what you heard and say what you believe. And it doesn't sound overpowering. It doesn't sound mean. And it's like, I don't really agree with that. And one of the things that I really help my women do is what I want them to do is learn who they are. And if you know who you are when you have those conversations, you can say, you know what? That's not the same way I see it. This is what I see. And so I can tell you've done, at least based on what I know, you've done some self reflection and self awareness stuff yourself to be able to stand tall in who you are.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. I will say it took me a long time to feel comfortable. I think it wasn't even, I think I was in my early 30s before I really got comfortable with just who I am. And thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. I was in my late 40s, so
Yeah.
I feel that. And so yeah, I can spot it better now because I see it in me. And when I see it in someone else, I just want to try and call it out and celebrate it because it's a big part of creating a life you love and a business.
Absolutely.
Do you have any closing thoughts before we wrap up today?
Not that I can think of, but this has been a really great chat, and I loved getting to know you as well. We have quite a bit in common, I think.
I think so. I'm sure I will see you around. Ladies, there will be links to get connected to Shayla around this video. And I would encourage you, especially if you're an introvert or if you know an introvert, to share this information with them. Click on through and get to know her a little bit, how she might be able to serve you well. And hopefully we will see you again soon, Shayla.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks.